Welcome to our online course. Today's session is going to be about a national exam for the students whose major is art. So let's get started. So the first one is a comprehension test. We are going to read the text. The winner of the 2016 Global Teacher Award is a Palestinian teacher called Hanan Al-Harroub. She grew up in Palestinian refugee camp near Bethlehem and she teaches refugee pupils herself. She specialized in supporting children who have suffered from violence. She was awarded the Global Teacher Prize for her excellent contribution to teaching profession. The finalists for this prize include teachers from India, Kenya, Finland, and United States. The award was announced at an awards ceremony in Dubai with a video message of contribution sent by the Prince William. He spoke of the great responsibility of teachers and how they could influence and shape a young person's life for the better. Pope Francis announced via video conference that Hanan had won the $1 million teaching award. I would like to congratulate the teacher Hanan Al-Habri for winning this precious prize because of the importance that she gave to the role of the play in a child's education. A child has the right to play. Part of the education is to teach children how to play because they learn how to be social through games as well as learn the joy of life, Pope Francis said. Hanan became a teacher after her children and husband were shot at on their way home from school. This incident had a negative impact on her children's behavior and personality. She was left alone to support them with no help from the educational authorities. She started inventing games at home and inviting the neighbors' children to participate. Gradually, the children's behavior and grades began to improve. Now, she teaches using play at school to help pupils reject violence and tension. In her speech at the ceremony, she told the audience that teachers could change the world. I am proud to be a Palestinian female teacher standing on this stage. I accept this as a win for all teachers in general and the Palestinian teachers in particular. I tell all teachers that our job is human and its goals are noble. We must teach our children that our only weapon is knowledge and education. She said after receiving the award. She says she will spend the prize money on supporting her students by creating scholarships to encourage excellent ones to be teachers. The award was created by the Verki Foundation, a non-profit organization founded by Dubai-based education entrepreneur Sani Verki. It aims at improving the standards of education for underprivileged children throughout the world. I hope that this teacher's story would inspire those looking to enter the teaching profession. My hope is that children from around the world will watch this ceremony and think about what their own teacher do for them, said Mr. Verki. So let's move to the comprehension questions. Please try to base all answers on the text that you have already seen in this video. So the first question, are these statements true or false? Justify. The candidates from the 2016 Global Teacher Award were from different countries. Yes, it's true. The finalists for this prize included teachers from India, Kenya, Finland, and United States. Pope Francis was present at the awards ceremony. Of course, it's false. Why? Because Pope Francis announced via video conference that Hanan had won the $1 million teaching award. Hanan receiving support from the education authority. Of course, no, it's false. With no help from the educational authorities, she started inventing games at home. Question B. Answer these questions. How much money did Hanan get as a prize? Hanan got $1 million. How do children benefit from play according to Pope Francis? They benefit from playing to be social as well as learn the joy of life. What will Hanan do with the prize money? She will spend the prize money on supporting her students by creating scholarships to encourage excellent ones to be teachers. That's good. Complete the following sentences. To congratulate Hanan, Prince William, here we have subject, we need a verb and object. So, Prince William sent a video message of congratulations. While Hanan's husband and children were walking back home, They were shot at. Don't forget, please, at. The main objective of Verkey Foundation is to improve the standards of education for underprivileged children throughout the world. Find in the text words which mean the same as helping, influence, motivate. I have an advice concerning this exercise. For example, if we have verb plus ing, in the text we will look for a verb plus ing. If we have a noun, we should look for a noun. If we have a verb, we should look for also a verb. But if we have an adjective, we should work for an adjective. The first one, helping, here is verb plus ing. So you will find in the text paragraph 1, it means supporting. Influence, here it's a noun, and sometimes it could be as a verb, but here we have as a noun. So influence here means impact. Motivate, in paragraph 5, you will find inspire. What do the underlined words in the text refer to? Them, paragraph 3, once, this teacher. Them means her children. Once also means her students. This teacher is Hanan. So let's move to the language. Find in the gaps with the appropriate phrasal verb from the lists. Ahmed's mother, his children, when he and his wife were in Mecca. That means his mother take care of kids. It's look after. Ahmed's mother looked after his children when he and his wife were in Mecca. The teacher gave his students another test because that most of them got low marks in the previous one. We need to put here the phrasal verb that means to know. So here found out is the suitable phrasal verb in this context. Choose the correct sentence. Layla would have come if you had invited her. Layla would have come if you invited her. Please try to make a review of the form of the condition type 3. You will find F plus subject plus had plus verb plus participle, comma, plus subject plus would or should or could plus have plus verb plus participle. So here the answer is Layla would come if you had invited her. By the end of July, all students will be finished their exams. By the end of July, all students will have finished their exam. This rules is about future perfect. So the form of future perfect is will plus have plus verb plus participle. That means it's be. By the end of July, all students will have finished their exams. Ali left the meeting quickly. He must have received an urgent call. Ali left the meeting quickly. He must receive an urgent call. Here, if we go to the first one, we will find left. That means it's an action in the past. And to have a modal in the past, we should put like this kind of rules. Modal plus have plus verb plus participle. That is to say, Alice left the meeting quickly. He must have received an urgent call. Put the verbs in the brackets in the correct forms. When the old lady returned to her apartment, she discovered that burglars break into her house during her absence. Here we have kind of tenses that addressing the past simple and past perfect, and try to focus when we have when. As I said, if we have when, we put when plus subject plus verb in simple past, comma, subject plus had plus verb plus participle, or what is called past perfect. So as we said, when the lady returned to her apartment, she discovered that burglars had broken into her house during her absence. Good. Replace the underlined phrases with the right collections from the list. Adult illiteracy, brain drain, primary education, brain gain, adult literacy. Many African countries suffer from the immigration of skilled workers. Here when we talk about the person who is very skilled at something, we are talking about brain drain. So many African countries suffer from brain drain. Morocco is investing a lot in teaching adults to read and write. Here, when we talk about reading and write, we mean literacy. And opposite of it is illiteracy for the person who cannot read or write. So Moroccan is investing a lot in adult literacy. Fill in the gap with the appropriate words from the list. I know a good restaurant. We can try Mexican food. When we have an activities that is done in a particular place, we use where. But when we describe this place, we use that or which. But here we talk about an activities, which means I know a good restaurant where we can try Mexican food. I cannot find my mobile phone. I have left it at home. Here, the suitable model should reflect the possibility that has a lower percentage, which means I cannot find my mobile phone. I might have left it at home. Choose the appropriate answer. It's sunny day. You and your friend are bored. What would you say to him? Here you are going to bring up a kind of suggestions. So many thanks for your advice. Why don't we go swimming? Have a nice day. So the great suggestions here is why don't we go swimming? Your classmate got 20 out of 20 on a math test. What would you say to him? Here is a kind of congratulation for sure. I'm awfully sorry for this mark. Thank you for your mark. Congratulations on getting the top mark. It's congratulations on getting the top mark. That's good. Complete the following exchanges as indicated. Ahmed is in the museum. He asks a man to take a photo of him. To make a request for a man that you don't know, the better things to use the polite way is, could you please take a photo of me? Eric has just watched a new film. Ask for opinion. If the answer of Eric, it was agreed but a bit long, so asking for opinion would say, what is your opinion of that new film? Here you may put other expressions. It's correct as soon as you are addressing opinion and request. Let's move to the writing task. Complete the following paragraph. Many children leave their homes to live on the street. There are many causes of this problem. First, please try to pause the video, write this paragraph, and after that try to make a comparison between your paragraph and mine. So let's get started. First, the breakdown of the families is a major reason why many kids find themselves on the streets. In addition, the generation gaps create a misunderstanding between the fathers and their kids. Secondly, poverty is another factor that pushes some family to be on street because they cannot pay the rent for the use of a house. That is, the kids will take this plight as an excuse to leave their family. Thirdly, violence, abuse, or a war increases somehow the cause of having many starving children on the streets. To sum up, the reasons why several streets are full of many homeless children can take different forms depending on the variety of social, family, and economic factors. So let's move to the second task. Write an email to your American friend Jane, telling her about some cultural aspects, food, clothes, music, etc. in your areas. Here you are going to write with a language that is informal. Why? Because when we talk about an American friend, they generally prefer to be addressed in informal way. And I have another recommendation. Please try not to write your name or sign the email. Why? Because of some procedure that was provided by the Ministry of Education. So let's have a look at our email that I have written for Jane. Dear Jane, hi, I hope you are doing well. As you may not know that in my hometown there are many cultural aspects you may enjoy. Let us talk about food. There are several dishes such as harira, pastilla, and tangia, and the most famous one is couscous that all families in my area always cook on Friday. In terms of clothes, our people are used to wearing simple clothes such as jilaba for old people and kaftan for women in some ceremonies. When it comes to music, you will find out that your ears will enjoy the melody of Milhoun as well as Sahrawi music called El Bildi. I hope you will visit us and enjoy all our cultural aspects as our people do, with the best wishes. This is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed going through these slices full of knowledge and information that are addressed in the baccalaureate exams. Thank you so much for your watching.